everyone was expecting something from Aaron Rodgers and his world in short order, with franchise tags today needing to be handed out today, and the best receiver in the National Football League in Davante Adams needing a new deal himself, and the Packers needing to make a decision. If you're coming, you're going. Because if you're going, then that might affect how we handle Davante Adams. Yeah, I know the new league year is next week, but today is kind of the day that Rodgers needed to deliver his message. Of course, as you know, he has his own sense of timing last year based on whatever he needs to do for himself. And obviously, this year he does have more team considerations because he feels that he's in better standing. The relationship between he and his team is in a much better standing. And I've said all along, best spot for him to wind up is to stay put. Mm-hmm. Stay put. You're 17 years in this place. You've got everything kind of set up the way you like it. I'm sure his car could essentially drive itself to work at this point in time. And he seems to like everybody who's there. He seems to have a better relationship with the general manager and team president. And sure enough, comes back today, Ian Rappaport announcing a contract extension. As you all know, he's got one more year left on his deal there. Contract extension, 4 years, $200 million.
Baby.
$1.53 guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport, my colleague, Rap Sheet, who was on yesterday's program. And what this means, if he plays all 5 years, let's say he plays all 5 years, I would give him 22 years in Green Bay. 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 22. Just 17 years in. 22 years in Green Bay, setting another benchmark that no one will touch in Green Bay. 22 years in Green Bay if he finishes this thing out. And as you know, Bart Starr, he's already been there longer than Bart Starr. Longer than Favre. Rodgers setting a benchmark in Green Bay that no one will touch, and that includes Jordan Love. How amazing is this? How amazing is this? And it is a testament to belief in self, betting on self, and also breaking stuff to make sure that you understand, or everyone else understands what your point of view is. How about this? Drafting Jordan Love in 2020 after Aaron Rodgers shows he can work well with a new coach who's never done it before. Go ahead and get a kid, start the clock that he knows, Aaron Rodgers knows, that at the very least, by 2022, they're going to have to start him in order to see what they've got in the kid that they just traded up the first round to go get. By 2022, they're going to have to put him out there because after the 2022 season, they're going to have to figure out, does he get a fifth-year extension? I mean, you got the time's ticking, and Aaron Rodgers gave him a freebie year of 2020, which is why in 2021, he's just like, okay, I might not come back anymore, everybody. Go watch me on Jeopardy. And he comes back for 2021, and just like 2020, he wins the MVP. Back-to-back MVP awards, and here we are at the outset of the new league year in 2022, and he is a 4-year, $200 million contract now placed in front of him to sign. And that means Jordan Love is definitely not starting for the Green Bay Packers in 2022, even if Aaron Rodgers can't go, because Jordan Love, no doubt in my mind, will be history. See ya. How about that? Bye. Unbelievable turn of events. That the Green Bay Packers did what they had to do. This had to happen. I didn't think they should have drafted Jordan Love at all. Yeah. I told you right from the get-go, what are they thinking? What are you doing? Rodgers just gets better. And I know he has his detractors. and haters as a football player. I'm not talking about the other stuff, because the other stuff, this is the most successful cancellation ever.
The one who got canceled is Jordan
Jordan
Love.
Love.
He's you feel for him, man.
This is the greatest cancellation in the history of cancellations. In the history of culture and cancels.
Got canceled in 153 million.
I know he's got his detractors in terms of football. I'm not one of those guys at all. I know he didn't hit certain receivers at certain points in time when all the chips are down. And I know you could sit here and say the Green Bay Packers aren't really built for the cold. And they've lost the last 2 playoff games at home when they had the 1 seed. For the first time in Green Bay, first time Aaron Rodgers had the NFC Championship game at home because he had the 1 seed. They lose that, and then they get the 1 seed again, and they can't even get to the NFC Championship game. And you can definitely, in this quarterback-driven league, look at the quarterback and say, that's his fault. But you're the Green Bay Packers, and you've got a guy who's one of the all-time greats, which he is, and he's got 17 years under his belt there, and you're saying, Uncle, Jordan Love, not the right move. He's not your successor. Your successor right now is you. We're sticking with you. You are our Tom Brady. You're our Tom Brady. You don't have as many rings as Tom Brady, but you're our Tom Brady. You're our guy who's been here for a long time. You are generationally brilliant. You are our guy. And we are going to bet on you to have the longevity after the age of 37 that Tom Brady has shown, or did show, if you want to use the past tense. And they are, he's their Tom Brady. Here you go. Here's the contract that you required to make us show you Jordan Love isn't our guy. You're our guy, Aaron. Mea culpa. Uncle.
We love you.
Who saw that coming? I guess Aaron Rodgers. Bet on self. Believe in self. What a message that is. Take care of your own business. Take care of your body. And make it happen. A total reversal of fortune, and what a fortune it is. Again, if these numbers are spot on. Congrats to Diana Rossini. That's $50 million a year, isn't it? May not be in terms of the way they work it out, because apparently the cap number somehow goes down. I don't know. I don't get it. I just talk about this stuff for a living.
Well, the cap's going up, too.
More verbal than math. That's how I got into college.
The overall NFL salary cap's going up.
I understand, but not by such an amount of money that you could give somebody $50 million and say that they're going down.
By $25 million.
They could. I don't know how they figure it out.
And
I don't know
if
if Aaron
Cowboys got to cut Amari Cooper, I don't understand this.
Well, he's making $20 million a year at a position that depends on somebody to get him the football. And he also disappeared in that offense last year. He had to raise his hand and say, what's up? Rodgers is the guy who's got his hands on the football. And Rodgers is the guy who's a clear leader of this team, clear leader for the Green Bay Packers. He's their Tom Brady. That's what they have just said. That's what they just said. We know 4-year contracts, $200 million, richest contract in the history of the NFL per annual. It appears to be annually. Yep. We know it's rare to give it out to somebody who's as old as you are, but you're our Tom Brady. And I can't believe it's happened, but it has. And congrats to him. And apparently with the cap number going down, Ian says they're working on Davante Adams deal now. But they did slap the franchise tag on him. He's going nowhere. You can work on a long-term deal all the way through to the summer. Mm-hmm. So there's time. It's just the window's going to open up for the new league year next year, and number 17 is not on the market. Figure it out. That's the next thing. Make him happy. He deserves it. He's so freaking good, and he's a good person, good human, too. You're not going to get those texts late at night saying, hey, sit down, something happened with 17. You're not going to get that.
And that Davante Adams franchise tag, $18.4 million.
Right. So he deserves a long-term contract, too. And they'll figure that out. They have no choice but to. Because you got 12 to 17, best combination in football. Now comes the drama of making it again to the NFC Championship, because I'll tell you what, there are 3 places on the NFL, 4 places on the NFL landscape that are not happy about this today. One is Denver.
Yeah.
Thought maybe he could come and do the Peyton Manning plan. We'll see what happens there. Maybe they acquire Jordan Love. I don't know. We've got Mike Florio coming up shortly on that subject. Daniel Jeremiah in hour number 2, how this plays all into drafting quarterbacks. We're going to have Daniel on just to talk about the combine, and we will do that. But obviously, I'll hit him on this subject. Also, the 3 other places that aren't terribly happy today: Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
Especially Chicago, since we know who the
owner of the team. Correct.
Team is.
The whole North Division.
Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit. Another reason why Rodgers should stay put. I'm not saying you roll the footballs out and you win the division. I'm kind of saying that. Well, why else would you go? Why would you go into Mahomes's in Herbert's division when you're sitting there in Justin Fields, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins' division? Why would you do it? Makes 0 sense. It's not the same thing as I said. Rodgers is the Tom Brady of the situation for Green Bay, but Brady left New England when New England's roster needed repair. Green Bay's roster does not. Makes sense. So it's, get back to the NFC Championship game. And if you do so, oh, baby, pull up a chair and see what Aaron Rodgers does. Because in the next 5 years, that's the window that Green Bay opened up by putting this contract in front of Aaron Rodgers and him saying yes. Got to come up with that second ring. If he doesn't, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we'll talk about 5 more years of disappointment, ultimate disappointment. But 22 years of an incredible run that is made even more incredible by the fact that he got what he wanted. After all of that. And the way you do it, you break some stuff in your house. You let the folks know you're not happy. And then you do your job. And you do it well. And you win trophies. Albeit, unfortunately, not for the team collectively, but you're the MVP back-to-back. Unbelievable turn of events that nobody saw coming.
Throwing up a poll, Rich.
Go for it.
With Rodgers back in Green Bay, who comes out of the NFC in 2022? Packers, Rams, 49ers, Cowboys.
Okay. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.